Meet the rare 1% who treat every second like a precious gem. For them, time isn't just ticking by. It's a resource to be cherished, guarded, and used with purpose. Their approach is almost spiritual, blending sharp focus with a deep respect for each moment. Instead of letting hours slip away, they orchestrate their days with precision, making even the simplest actions count. It's as if their StickMan minds have mastered the art of turning lines and circles into a symphony of productivity. For these StickMan characters, time isn't just ticking away on a clock. Instead, it acts as a mirror, revealing their moods, ambitions, and the stories they've lived. When they feel clear-headed, time seems to shine back with possibilities. If they're hungry or restless, time stretches and bends, reflecting their impatience. Their past experiences shape how they see each moment, making every tick a little more personal and expressive. Imagine starting your day not with a long to-do list, but with a single, powerful question. What deserves my life today? This simple shift changes everything. Instead of rushing through tasks, our StickMan hero pauses to consider what truly matters. Suddenly, the focus moves from obligation to meaning, and even the smallest actions feel more purposeful. It's a clever way to turn everyday routines into opportunities for genuine fulfillment, all with a little StickMan flair. StickMan's impressive efficiency isn't something he was born with. It's actually shaped by his early adventures. Whether it was losing his favorite pencil, facing a little embarrassment in front of friends, or having to grow up faster than expected, each experience left its mark. These moments taught StickMan important lessons, helping him become more resourceful and resilient. So, behind every quick decision and clever move, there's a story of trial and error. Even the simplest stick figure has a history that makes him who he is today. Fear can be a powerful motivator, especially when it comes to vulnerability and loss. For our StickMan, these worries don't just linger, they sharpen into a laser-like focus. Suddenly, every move is calculated. Every action is quick and precise. The need for speed and control becomes almost irresistible, as if outrunning uncertainty is the only way to stay safe. It's a bit like trying to dodge raindrops with a determined sprint. Sometimes, the best defense feels like a fast offense. StickMan knows that simply standing around can feel pretty awkward. That's why he likes to fill his days with purposeful actions, whether it's waving hello, jumping over a puddle, or just pointing at something interesting. By giving each moment a bit of meaning, he avoids the uncomfortable feeling of being idle. It turns out, even the simplest activities can make life feel more lively and less empty. So, StickMan's secret is to keep moving, even if it's just in small, expressive ways. Let's take a closer look at how our StickMan communicates. Every sentence is carefully crafted, almost like a puzzle, designed to pull out the true meaning and make sure nothing gets lost in translation. If something isn't clear, you can bet the StickMan will ask for clarification, waving their arms or raising an eyebrow. This approach helps avoid misunderstandings and keeps conversations running smoothly. It's all about making sure everyone's on the same page, even if it takes a few extra StickMan gestures. StickMan knows that setting boundaries is a way to protect his emotional energy. When he declines an invitation, it's not because he doesn't like parties. It's simply his way of keeping his stress levels low and his mood steady. By rarely second-guessing his decisions, StickMan avoids unnecessary worry and guilt. This helps him stay cheerful and focused, even when the world is buzzing with activity. Boundaries for StickMan, Bishishin, are like invisible shields that keep him feeling balanced and content. Sometimes, our StickMan finds himself hustling around, driven not just by a desire to get things done, but by a subtle fear of blending into the background. Efficiency becomes his superpower, fueled by the quiet worry of being just another face in the crowd. With every swift movement and determined gesture, he's trying to stand out, even if it's only to himself. It's a funny thing, how the urge to be noticed can turn simple tasks into a race against invisibility. In the world of StickMan, even the most ordinary moments can spark extraordinary effort. StickMan's approach to time is a lot like his approach to love. Both are handled with careful intention. He doesn't scatter his energy everywhere, but instead focuses on what matters most, whether it's a busy schedule or a heartfelt connection. Like a stick figure choosing which arrows to follow, he's selective and strategic, making sure every moment and every relationship gets the attention it deserves. This intensity might look simple on the outside, but it's packed with purpose and meaning. In Stickman's world, both time and love are precious resources, managed with a thoughtful touch and a dash of humor. Our Stickman hero is always on the move, chasing success like it's a finish line that keeps shifting. But here's the twist. All that hustle isn't just about winning. It's also a clever way to avoid standing still, because when the action stops, a quiet question appears. What's left when there's nothing to chase? Sometimes, the fear of emptiness is what keeps the Stickman sprinting, even when he could use a break. It's a funny kind of paradox, where busyness becomes a shield against stillness. Sometimes, our Stickman friend appears deeply focused, but beneath that determined expression lies a quiet fatigue. It's the kind of tiredness that wishes for a break from being constantly measured or watched. Every so often, a rare pause sneaks in, and suddenly questions bubble up like, am I really doing my best? Or, what if I just stopped for a moment? These brief moments of stillness reveal the Stickman's hidden thoughts, reminding us that even the most dedicated figures need time to rest and reflect. Imagine trying to squeeze an entire lifetime into just a few minutes. That's the challenge of mastering compression, where every second counts and every detail must be carefully chosen. Our Stickman hero once felt powerless, overwhelmed by the endless demands to optimize and streamline. But through trial and error, he learned that even the simplest shapes can tell a big story. Now he dances confidently through the world of efficiency, proving that small changes can make a huge difference. Certainty has a remarkable power. It acts like a magnet in a world full of confusion. When someone is clear and confident, their emotions seem to anchor the swirling chaos around them. Others are drawn to this clarity, seeking guidance and stability. It's almost as if certainty creates a neat path through the mess, making it easier for people to follow along. Even stickmen appreciate a leader who knows which way to point their arrows. When we chase efficiency, we often sacrifice the gentle moments that make life meaningful. Relationships and vulnerability can seem like obstacles in a world obsessed with productivity, but they are actually the heart of human connection. Imagine our stickman characters rushing around, missing out on friendly chats and shared laughter because they're too focused on ticking boxes. The softness of time, those pauses for conversation or a comforting gesture, get squeezed out. In the end, we might find ourselves efficient, but a little less warm and a lot less connected. At this moment, our stickman hero has a revelation. The goal isn't to wrestle time into submission or to control every minute. Instead, it's about letting go of the fear that comes with rushing and worrying. By understanding this, the stickman feels lighter, as if a weight has been lifted. Suddenly, time becomes a friend, not a foe, and our character can move forward with confidence and a smile. Many people see time as a relentless opponent, always ticking away and demanding to be managed. But what if time is actually a relationship, something to understand rather than battle? True mastery doesn't come from squeezing more tasks into each hour, but from being fully present in each moment. When we shift our focus from fighting the clock to appreciating our experiences, life becomes a little less stressful and a lot more meaningful. Even a stickman can tell you, sometimes the best way to win is simply to show up and enjoy the scene. At first, our stickman hero is obsessed with squeezing every second out of the day, juggling tasks with impressive speed. But soon, he notices that no matter how efficient he becomes, time still slips away. Then a light bulb moment. What truly stretches time isn't doing more, but finding meaning in what we do. Suddenly, the stickman slows down, savoring moments and enjoying simple joys. It turns out, the most memorable days aren't the busiest, but the ones filled with purpose and laughter. Sometimes, when things start to fall apart, it feels like our stickman is losing grip on his carefully balanced world. Burnout or unexpected loss can make us question everything, including our own value. Suddenly, all those achievements seem less important, and what's left is just ourselves, simple, vulnerable, and real. It's in these moments that we discover our true self-worth, hidden beneath the trophies and check marks. Even when control slips away, our stickman reminds us that being ourselves is enough, wobbly lines and all. Our stickman hero begins to realize that how they spend their time isn't just about schedules or to-do lists. It's actually a mirror for their beliefs about love and self-worth. If they rush through life, always busy, maybe they're trying to prove they're valuable. On the other hand, taking time for themselves could mean they feel deserving of care and affection. It turns out, time is more than just minutes and hours. It's a reflection of what we believe we deserve. Imagine our stickman hero standing tall, learning the art of presence. Instead of rushing to measure every moment, he simply lets go and enjoys the journey. By surrendering the urge to count every step, he discovers that time can unfold at its own pace. It's a bit like watching a clock with no numbers. Sometimes, the best progress happens when we stop keeping score. In this new mastery, patience and mindfulness become his superpowers. Our stickman finds himself face to face with the parts of his personality he once tried to escape. It's a bit like running in circles, only to realize the finish line was inside all along. As he pauses, he notices that the time he thought was lost can actually be reclaimed, simply by embracing who he is. With a thoughtful tilt of his round head, he understands that self-reflection brings back more than just minutes. It brings back meaning. Even in the simplest shapes, growth is possible. Imagine our stickman friend, once obsessed with maximizing every moment and grinding through tasks, now taking a deep breath and shifting gears. Instead of chasing endless goals, he learns to align his actions with his values and lets things flow naturally. This transformation isn't just about changing words, it's about changing perspective. Suddenly, life feels less like a race and more like a dance, where effort meets ease and progress happens without constant struggle. It's a refreshing switch, and our stickman seems much happier for it. Imagine our stickman hero riding the waves of time, sometimes paddling hard to create, sometimes floating peacefully to recharge. Life isn't just about constant action. It's also about knowing when to pause and catch your breath. Balancing bursts of creativity with moments of rest helps us stay energized and inspired. Like a surfer, we learn to read the rhythm so we don't wipe out from exhaustion. It's all about finding that sweet spot between doing and being. Imagine our stickman, clutching tightly to a steering wheel, determined to control every twist and turn. But sometimes, real confidence means letting go and trusting the journey. Surrender isn't about giving up. It's about believing that things will unfold as they should. When we shift from control to trust, we discover a deeper sense of calm and assurance. Even our stickman feels lighter, arms wide open, ready for whatever comes next. Our stickman soon discovers that time isn't just ticking away. It actually reflects how he feels inside. When he's rushing, everything seems to blur past, but when he slows down, the world opens up in delightful detail. By taking a breath and moving at his own pace, he finds that life feels richer and more interesting. It turns out, slowing down isn't just relaxing. It's a secret to making each moment last longer and feel fuller. Many people find themselves stuck, wasting time simply because they're afraid of making the wrong move. It's easy to think that discipline alone will solve this, but what truly helps is clarity. When you know where you're going and why, it's much easier to take action. Even our stickman friend, with his expressive face, knows that a clear path beats wandering in circles. So, instead of stressing about being more disciplined, focus on finding clarity first. At first, our stickman hero believes that safety comes from being in control of every situation. He carefully arranges his surroundings, making sure everything is just so. But soon, he realizes that this approach can be exhausting and lonely. By reaching out and connecting with others, he finds a softer, more comforting sense of security. It turns out, sometimes the safest place is right beside a friend, not behind a fortress of rules. Imagine focusing on memorable moments rather than obsessing over every single minute. Instead of trying to control time like a strict referee, we can create small highlights throughout our day. Old habits might still hang around, but they don't have to run the show. By learning to coexist with them, we give ourselves space to grow and enjoy life's stickman adventures. Sometimes, it's not about erasing the past, but about drawing new lines for the future. Time isn't just ticking away on a clock. It becomes something we feel inside, like a gentle beat guiding our actions. Our stickman hero finds himself moving to this rhythm, balancing memories from the past with hopes for the future. Each day becomes a playful exchange, as if he's chatting with his earlier self and planning with his future self. It's a dance of decisions, where every step connects yesterday's lessons to tomorrow's possibilities. Here comes the final twist in our stickman saga. As our stick figures learn to move in harmony with time, something magical happens. They discover they need less and less. Suddenly, their days feel fuller and brighter, even with fewer possessions or distractions. It turns out, the secret to a richer life is simply to align with the rhythm of time, not to chase after more stuff. Who knew that simplicity could be so rewarding? Imagine our stickman hero pausing mid-stride, suddenly realizing that life isn't just about ticking boxes or collecting trophies. Instead, it's about appreciating the little moments, like a peaceful break or a friendly smile. As our stickman reflects, they gently forgive themselves for believing that rest was a weakness, and that worth was measured only by achievements. This emotional awakening brings a fresh sense of freedom, as our character learns to value both effort and relaxation. Sometimes, the most important step is simply letting go and enjoying the journey, stick arms and all. Ambition isn't just about chasing trophies or collecting achievements. It's about offering more of ourselves to the world, like a stickman stretching his arms wide to embrace new possibilities. When we combine ambition with awareness, our goals shift from getting more to giving more. Suddenly, life becomes a playground where our efforts help others, not just ourselves. It's a win-win, even if your stick arms are a bit wobbly. Imagine our stickman friend marching along with a clock, always counting the minutes and seconds. This is Chronos, the world of clock time. But suddenly, he stumbles into Kairos, where time is measured by meaningful moments, not just ticking hands. Here, the focus shifts from chasing a return on investment to seeking a return on life. Instead of worrying about numbers, our stickman celebrates experiences, connections, and joy. It's a reminder that sometimes the most valuable moments aren't found on a schedule, but in the simple, expressive lines of living fully. Imagine if presence became the new currency of wealth. Instead of chasing endless productivity hacks, our stickman hero invests attention in the here and now, savoring even the most ordinary moments. By focusing on coherence, making life feel connected and meaningful, he discovers that true richness comes from simply being present. Sometimes, the greatest treasures are found in the quiet spaces between tasks, where a smile or a thoughtful pause makes all the difference. Who knew that paying attention could be so rewarding? Mentoring with awareness means encouraging others to reflect on their relationship with time. Instead of simply asking what time it is, we invite them to consider what time is doing with them. By understanding how we treat our hours and minutes, we gain insight into how these choices influence who we become. It's a bit like Stickman looking at his watch and wondering if he's using his time wisely or just letting it slip away. This mindful approach helps shape our habits and, ultimately, our character. Mortality can be a surprisingly wise teacher. It reminds us that the only lasting form of immortality is our presence in the moment, being truly here, right now. When we stop trying to outrun time, we discover a peaceful acceptance, like a stickman finally sitting down after a long sprint. Instead of chasing endless tomorrows, we find meaning in today. In this way, mortality nudges us to cherish each simple moment, making our lives richer and more expressive. Sometimes, we rush through life as if time is running away from us, but our stickman friend has discovered a secret. The real treasure isn't in counting minutes, but in savoring them, making each moment feel rich and meaningful. When we pause and truly inhabit the present, time transforms from something we chase to something we embrace. Suddenly, every second becomes a cozy space for connection and joy. Who knew that simply being here and now could be the greatest wealth of all? In the end, the paradox of the 1% becomes clear. The people who truly master time are the ones who stop chasing it and instead learn to embrace each moment. By surrendering to the flow of life, they discover genuine connection and presence. It's not about squeezing more hours into the day, but about living each one fully. Sometimes, the secret to having it all is simply letting go.